sign into YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up. If you are listening to this podcast on iTunes, please rate and review us. Now enjoy CineTalk with the one and only CineBros.
What's up, Cinemaniacs? We're back with episode 17 after lots of giggling and bat-dadding over here.
Shenanigans.
Yeah, definitely.
We are back, and CineTalk is where a bunch of CineBrothers here, and we get together and talk about movies because we love movies.
Yes.
So we are in the heart of Hollywood here in Clinton, Connecticut. We are on location.
On location.
We're
not in the
not in our usual digs here, but we are on location, and hopefully this doesn't this wonderful clutter of magazines and
what are you gonna do without Aquaman?
okay lighting.
Where's Aquaman? Like,
He's at home. He's manning the house. Somebody's got to protect
He's
it.
going for a second mortgage.
He's going for a second mortgage. Hopefully he's refinancing.
Wait. Where are we right now? Who are you? You're not Chad.
All right, so who are these movie lovers today? We have to my right, who will be the co-host for the day, and that is a man who has done many things here, including writing a couple of things. Actually, he's still in the process of writing one.
I am still in the process.
Still in the process of writing
Marvel
one
top
little
10.
Marvel top 10 thing here. But he also, we're going to be debuting, I think this week, we'll be debuting a little Ron Burgundy skit.
Nice.
That happened. And we're going to check it out afterwards, make sure that everything's kosher with Brian here.
It's racy.
It's a little racy from time to time.
It was the 70s, man. It's a different time.
So we're going to check that out. But Brian, Christina, BKC.
What's up?
He is here today as a co-host. Chad is off in Maine. We, unfortunately, because I'm not in my usual digs, I can't even Skype him in. So, unfortunately, we might be able to Skype him in maybe afterwards, maybe on my phone. I'll just push it out like this and hold it.
Yeah.
So you can see him. I don't know how well you
you
hear
can,
his voice.
You'll
though.
composite like a picture or of him somewhere, right?
Oh, of course, of course. I mean, it's kind of tight quarters today. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I can
It's cozy.
fit a little picture in somewhere.
No, just something maybe that's like sitting on the desk, like right here, just like a tiny little one.
I gotta get a PNG.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll Photoshop something.
All right, cool. We'll just have him on the desk right next to us, like right on my laptop.
Yeah, like
That'd be
Aquaman,
sweet.
like as Aquaman,
Like,
maybe. Like,
oh, that'd be great.
perfect.
That'd be
'Cause
phenomenal.
that's just for you.
sure.
And
I would love that.
Yeah, I know you would.
I would love that with the trident and everything, please. All right, so we're gonna go on to our first little topic here, and this is what we usually do: is we have Brandon Blaine here, who's been on the show twice before.
That's right.
And
On the important episodes.
and we talk about on the important.
the first and the 10th.
And he is a comic book lover, and what we're gonna do with Brandon today is we're gonna
Fuck, marry, kill.
and we're gonna do that with his 3 favorite superhero movies.
By the way, I want to
Hi,
fist
let's,
bump
like,
welcome.
let's introduce
La,
him,
la,
yeah.
la, la, la.
We've only met.
By the way, we
just
did not. That was not rehearsed. We
Yeah.
both knew to.
That was in
Baymax that.
That's because you both have kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
So do
that's
you.
good, yeah.
Make it sound like you know.
We all have.
I do?
kids.
Yeah, we all have multiple children.
Yeah,
One or
have
two.
one.
Okay.
Well, yeah. All right. So, and then what are the rules are here with the movies is kill you. The movie is no longer in existence.
Yeah.
Fuck. The movie is only allowed to be watched for one weekend,
Weekend.
and then it is to be destroyed, gone, out of existence. The Mary is a movie that's in your DVD player forever on repeat. Just go, 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 go.
Yeah.
All right. What are these 3 favorite movies of yours?
It's tough.
I can't wait to play this because this is going to be fun.
Well, I think,
Chad would have just tried to kill them all.
I think for the two, I think 2 of the ones are going to be difficult. 2 of the ones are difficult. One's kind of, I think it's going to be easy for you guys. It's not for me because it's been a favorite for a long time. The Crow,
Oh, okay.
which you kind of like
Yeah.
come out. You know, a lot of people don't know. It's like
He's coming out swinging.
yeah, dark
All right.
comic, stuff like that. Second movie I'd probably throw in there as a favorite is The Dark Knight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is already tough.
Yeah.
Dark Knight is, yeah.
Can we
Okay.
just stop now? Because at least I can marry it. Fuck. Whatever.
Dark Knight is my number 1
Yeah.
on my list all time
And then,
for superhero movies.
And then I'd probably say the third one to like throw in the mix is probably the Avengers, like the first Avengers movie.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
With Loki as the villain and
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So what are you gonna fuck? What are you gonna marry? What are you gonna kill?
So we got Crow, Dark Knight, and Avengers.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So I think I'll probably kill the Crow. I've seen it a lot. I can see it in my head like whenever I want.
Right.
Like, you know, I've for a very long time. So that's.
If you kill it though, did it exist ever?
I just can't watch it again, right? Like,
Yeah,
that's
I think that's like too tough.
Okay.
That's too tough because how can you not remember something that you remember?
I don't know. Sometimes you make the
you
rules
killed
and
it.
Yeah.
If it's dead, was it dead from the beginning? It never
like it
happened,
never
or-
existed, or I'm just not allowed to like.
Okay.
I killed it. It did exist, but
Okay.
I just can't watch it.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's it. You just want to be clear in the rules because like I want to
do.
be too.
Yeah.
'Cause
I get
changes
you.
shit
I
sometimes.
know, I
Sometimes, yeah, I like to
got
throw
split
little
things.
curveballs.
He's got a
Yeah.
mind of his own.
Let's-
My
Splitter.
show notes are like all over the place, so I want to make sure we're playing on the same ball field.
Excellent. Let's
Throw it
go.
over to you, baseball reference.
All right, so you're killing the Crow, huh?
Killing the Crow.
All
Yeah,
right.
I've seen it enough. Brandon Lee, great picture, one of my favorite movies out of the '90s and stuff like that. Really good soundtrack too. That had a great soundtrack.
I haven't seen it in years.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
That was one of the movies that like I used to take with me all the time. Like I'd run with it and like bring like a pack of DVDs with me.
Yeah.
That was always one of the ones that like Fight Club, Bad Boys, like all the other stuff that I did my favorites like before. I'd travel like with a job. I'd bring all those with me. Then this one's tough. It's hard to go whether because I think cinematically and as a movie, I think The Dark Knight is better.
Yep.
But as for a more well-rounded movie experience that I can have the comic book, the fun, the ethos, the myth, like all that stuff, but then I can have like some comedy and stuff in there too to be able to mix it up, I'd probably marry the Avengers.
Okay. All right.
The Dark Knight's only on the weekend.
Dark Knight is getting fucked.
Yeah.
So, what are you gonna say here with your fuck, marry, kill of these three?
Where do you want me to start?
I want you to kill one off
Kill?
right off the beginning. Kill one of those bitches.
I can't believe it. Bye Avengers.
Wow, really?
Yep.
Wow.
Holy cow!
Yep. I know. That's.
And where does that
weird.
rank on your list of all time?
It's in the Marvel top 10 for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
But probably closer to the bottom third though.
Okay. Wow.
But the reason why is because the two other movies really are just really important to me as far as okay, so which one next? You want Mary?
I want you to no. I want you to fuck it.
The fuck?
Yeah.
So the fuck is The Dark Knight.
All right.
Oh wow.
And I have to marry The Crow because The Crow was one of those movies that I could watch over and over again. I still could. If you put it on right now, I would stop this show and I would watch it.
Really?
Yep. I would completely ignore this broadcast
So
to
good.
watch The Crow right now.
I don't think they have that in there. I don't think they have that.
No, they haven't even gotten flat screen TVs in this facility. We're still on tube technology.
No mounting on the wall
Your
here.
TV downstairs is like 8 feet deep.
But only three inches wide.
It's just an actual screen diagonally. Yeah, so the kill is Avengers, the marry is The Crow, and the fuck is Dark Knight.
All right. Okay. If I'm gonna do this, like I said, if you have my list of top 10 movies of all time, in the comic book genre,
Okay.
in the top 3, you're gonna have the Avengers and. That's close. I mean, because actually, it's not even in the top 3. It's in the top 5. But you have Dark Knight as number 1 all time for me. Just the greatest, just overall movie experience. I love the back and forth between Batman and the Joker. Loved everything about that movie. Avengers is just one of the most pure fun experiences as just a superhero movie. It's like kind of. When you're watching those cartoons as a kid, like taking that and then going into the movie experience, just kind of almost, you're not getting it totally dark or anything like that. It's just a fun experience.
Right.
And then you have The Crow, which is dark, very dark, but also, it kind of started that path of like getting really dark. I mean, the original Batman movies were kind of dark, but they were also a little twisted.
They campy too.
A little bit.
Tim Burton, it was stylized. It's Tim Burton style, but it was campy.
But it was a little more campy because he really wanted to play off that comic book aspect.
Right, exactly.
Whereas The Crow was just dark. I mean, there was actually, I mean, that was rated R, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that was a hard R movie.
Blade.
From what I remember.
Blade was one of the other ones that like I was thinking about. It has that R, it's that dark. It's like those are the comic book movies that people don't consider. Like everyone thinks like Spider-Man or like X-Men was like the first of, you know, what was
the more
going on.
pop culture movies. So if I had to pick these, I'm gonna be doing the same route as you.
Yeah, I figured.
I am.
Actually, I wasn't sure with the. I knew you were gonna kill the Crow.
Yeah. Because I mean, it's a movie that I would like to watch again. No problem at all. I would love to watch it again. But I have no problem because I need to have The Dark Knight in there.
Yeah.
The Dark Knight is one of those movies that has to be in there, and I cannot. But I don't. It's not a movie that I want to watch over and over and over again because I don't want to start picking apart the movie.
Yeah.
Which with every movie you can pick apart. I do not want to have to pick apart the movie and get to the point of where I don't like it as much as I do.
Yeah.
Whereas The Avengers, I have seen that movie probably 10, 12 times.
Yeah.
Whereas The Dark Knight, I've only seen 3 times. Saw it once in IMAX.
Wow.
I saw it once in IMAX. I saw it, and I've watched it twice at home. But I haven't even seen it in the last 3 years.
Wow.
I like. It's like that with me with Braveheart as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's a movie that I watch every few years because you forget a lot of the intricacies throughout the movie that when you watch it again, it's almost kind of watching it for the first time, and some stuff that you forgot about. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that. It's so great, brings it back, and you kind of have the same emotions that you had the first time watching it. So that's why I would put The Dark Knight in as the fuck, and I would have the Avengers in there because that's a movie that I could just have on repeat. It has so much fun.
It has good replay
comedy,
value too.
yeah.
It's very well rounded.
And it's not, and it's one of those movies that I could pick apart, and I have, and it is a really fun movie, but it's not. Like I said, I think it's probably my 4th favorite of all time. I have Dark Knight, and this is where I go with like even the X-Men movies. You know, X-Men: Days of Future Past was also kind of a darker movie. X-Men 2, those two movies. That's 2 and 3 for me. So I don't know. If I had to pick, those would be mine. That would be my fuck, marry, kill.
I think the reason too for me for killing off Avengers is that particular comic book genre has been, that market is so oversaturated too. Mm-hmm. There's multiple Avenger movies. There's the single Avenger movies. You know.
Yeah.
All the
you've got a ton more.
And
coming.
there's a lot, and they're all on the humor side of it too. So like,
and you could say the same thing with Dark Knight, all the Batman lore, but the Crow is very singular and individual, and it kind of stands alone to me. And that movie just did something.
So I got a question. I know we've talked about this before. How do you feel about the Crow reboot that they're going to be doing, that they've been trying to do for a while?
I didn't even know about it.
Yeah, Bradley Cooper was attached to it for a little while, and a couple other a couple other characters were.
I'd be all for it.
Yeah, because I know that a lot of Crow fans are kind of on the fence about wanting to see this again.
Well, I can understand that.
because they've done sequels and spin-off, and they just weren't good.
Yeah, they were
you know what I mean? Like, if they took the time to actually do it well, get a good actor who's like, very good,
I could
and
actually
do
see
that.
Bradley Cooper.
I could see that.
It was him
like
and the guy from who was in the Fast and Furious, not the last one, not with Statham, but his brother.
Yeah, right.
Anybody but Channing Tatum.
What were you saying?
You remember Jason Statham's brother, and in the Fast 7. The one that was in Fast 6, the Furious 6, whatever they are.
Yeah.
That evil guy, he was also tagged to play the Crow for a little while. He's kind of got that look to him.
Yeah.
The dark hair. Kind of.
I hate to throw his name out because he's kind of like really kind of been crazy oversaturated lately. Is maybe Jared Leto.
Oh yeah, I mean he's got that look to him too.
But he can pull it off. He could pull off like, because I think he was supposed to be a rocker. You know what I mean? Like he could pull off that kind of like
do the dark
swag part, and then he
How about like maybe Armie Hammer with long hair?
Oh jeez, he's so big. He's such a big. He's like 6'5". He's so tall. It'd be tough. I mean, he'd be an intimidating force. And the biggest problem, they're having so many. I mean, they've always had problems with the Crow. I mean, obviously with Brandon Lee, and then you go on for it, and like just all the problems that they've had with everything involved with this just franchise. It's almost like don't do it because there's so many issues.
About the guy who played the Winter Soldier, he might actually be a good Crow. Got kind of that long-haired
Sebastian.
Sebastian Stan.
He's got kind of that look.
He's another good one. And plus, those are all good actors too.
Yeah.
I mean, so any one of those.
That's what I think it needs to be. It needs to be like somebody that can really convey the emotion, and then like the not an anti-hero, because I mean he is a hero, but like that dark brooding, like you've done this, you've wronged me or whatever, like the vengeance. You know what I mean? That part
Yeah,
of it.
I dig it. I like it. I would like to see a reboot because everybody knows that I like reboots. I like sequels. I think that it's something that is good for the movie business. And on top of that, I think that you can get surprised and really get to see a real good, a good quality movie.
Yeah.
Some special effects still work.
Yeah. I got a little boxing ding 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 in there because of you got a whole new time. Yeah,
I'm gonna lose.
Let's do this. All right, we are going to move on to the next topic.
New news.
That's right, new news. This is where we talk about the new news that come out basically over the last week or so. Sometimes we'll go a little bit further depending on how awesome that news happened to be. And the first thing up that we are going to talk about this new news is the box office recap. And I am going to pull up Box Office Mojo right now. I'm going to run down the top 5 that happened. But the problem is Box Office Mojo still slacking here. They're having a hard time figuring out this.
They might be having resource issues.
Yeah, they're having some serious issues with trying to figure out what the totals were. So I'm going to go to a different site here, and this is just boxoffice.com. And they have this weekend the studio estimates. The top 5 are Straight Outta Compton at $13.24 million. War Room finished in second, which is, I was shocked. I actually had it in my top 5 when I did my, but I did not have it in the second spot. War Room finished, it's kind of like a religious kind of movie, I think. And it's very for the church-going crowd. Finished at $11 million. Mission Impossible Rogue Nation finished in the third slot at 8.3. And now this is wicked close. This might be the reason why they're having such a hard time coming out with the actuals. No Escape with Owen Wilson and Pierce Brosnan came out, and it's 8.28 million. So that's so close.
That was the first week for that.
It's the first. It started on Wednesday though.
Yeah, okay.
So it was the first weekend, but it started on it. So that is so
280,
close. That is like
$12,000.
Yeah, that is.
We
So
need
that
to
might be.
recount.
That's what they might be doing. They might be recounting that and make sure, because 8.3 is. I mean, 8.3 on the dot after all that, But and then Sinister 2 finishes. Wow, I mean.
The Bagul getting in there at number 5.
Sinister 2 finishing at $4.65 million.
I love the Bagul.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the complete chart here.
Just like
I don't
saying
know.
the Bagul.
I don't know if there's any. I mean, there's no real big. I mean, War Room for me is a big shock. I mean, that finishing in second. I had it coming in around $7 million, and I thought that was high.
Right.
I might have had it a little bit higher than that, but I think I had it around $7 million. And I was like, I was kind of like, I don't know if it can actually do this, because sometimes those church-going crowds can go out in droves.
Yeah.
They don't typically go out on Sundays, but they'll go out in droves.
Oh,
And, but Friday and Saturdays they make a lot of money. Yeah. So you have the War Room come out, and it just
they observe the Sabbath.
I
don't know why I'm saying they.
And they destroyed. They destroyed the box office this weekend and almost finished in the top slot. I mean, just $2 million off of Straight Outta Compton, which finishes in first. It's third week in a row. Yeah, great.
Awesome.
Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible. Even if it loses its second, I mean, it dropped.
Or that
28%.
So bad.
28% for Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. Only dropped this past week. It's been like right around that 25 to 30%, just steadily kind of.
Well, though, right?
Oh my gosh, it's made like $500 million plus.
Globally?
Yeah, and it's doing really well.
What's the domestic, like 200?
I could tell you right now, maybe. Let me see. I don't know. I don't visit
Maybe it's
this.
like 175 or something.
170. 170 so
okay.
far. Worldwide, it's at 480.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
So yeah, and then we're gonna get another one of those. So that's great.
Yep.
No Escape is doing okay. I mean, No Escape finishing at 8.2. It's at that 10.3 for the total week so far.
I think people are like a little hesitant probably to see that movie because it's such a departure for Luke was it
Owen Wilson.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's
Well,
a departure.
He
for
did.
him,
He did that movie with Gene Hackman a while ago. What was that one?
It was like what was it, like Beyond Enemy Lines?
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
He did that, and he was really good in that.
He was young. That was
yeah. So I mean,
I think his stars changed since then. You know.
Oh, absolutely.
He's
more of a comedy, romantic comedy.
Stuff,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I love to see it. So I'm I'm all for. I want to go see No Escape at some point in time because it looks like a good movie. I know he doesn't want to because it has.
That trailer where they show the kids getting shot at that just bugged the crap out of me. I just couldn't. I was like, no. I'll cringe. I'll cringe if I see that.
I actually got a chance to go. I never get to go see a movie like recently. With having my kid and stuff, but like my wife and I actually got the chance to go to the movies for once. And we were talking about like what movies to go see, and that was up there. And then the same thing, her and I were like, all that stress and all that tension, and like with kids, like
I like being like
engulfed. He likes to see
in
kids shot.
I don't think they're gonna die.
You
wanted okay.
You were cool with Chad doing the T-Rex trying to eat a kid like the last time, and now you're on like some foreign terrorist to like kill a kid. Like
no, I don't want I don't want the kid to die. But
thanks for clarifying that.
But
I don't want the kid to die.
But if he did get shot, it's part of the movie.
It's all a movie. It's not real.
Right. Oh yeah.
So we were at me and my wife went to go see Trainwreck.
Yeah.
Just a couple weeks ago, and that trailer came on.
Yeah.
And I was like, I leaned over to her and I was like, oh, I want to see this. I want to see this bad. And she looked at me, and we're sitting there watching the movie, and then you see the Owen Wilson take his kid and throw him from one building to the next.
Yeah.
And she goes, nope, I'm not seeing that.
Yeah,
no
exactly.
chance. No way.
Yeah.
I was like, see, I want to see what happes.
I want to see if he gets caught by a trampoline on the other side and goes, like, no, it's not going to happen.
So I'm looking forward to seeing that movie.
It's a circus movie.
So now we have...
It's going to be all right. Charlie Brown and Snoopy were on the other side waiting to catch him.
The Red Baron.
In their animated arms.
The Red Baron, yeah.
Yes, the Red Baron scooped him out of the sky.
So other than that, we do have, Ant-Man is still in the top 10.
That's why I went and saw it.
Ant-Man, it was $3 million again. It's $170 million for its worldwide total. I mean, for its domestic gross.
Yeah, I was looking that up. I was disappointed to see that, like, globally, I think it had only done around like 325 or something. I thought it was going to do so much better because
370 right now. Yeah.
I thought it was going to do better.
Yeah, I thought it was a funny movie. I thought it was good, but it wasn't. It's not one of my. It's not in my top 10 of all time. Right? But in your Marvel.
It's in my Marvel.
I thought it was a great Marvel movie.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Really funny.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see his character in the future roles because I think he's going to be a great secondary character.
I think him and like Tony Stark will bounce like so well off each other and things like that. I think that would be great. Like
absolutely.
The chemistry between those two like will be.
And
really
then
good.
Jurassic World is in that third of all time at $1.6 billion.
A monster.
It literally.
It is.
And Jurassic World did it 3.1 this week, so it's still going strong.
Oh, because this was the return, right? The back by popular demand weekend.
Yes. And then we have one of the biggest bombs that has happened.
Let's talk about that.
And that is, we have 1 minute and 30 seconds left.
All right.
We Are Your Friends with Zac Efron only made $1.8 million. A lot of people thought that this movie was going to finish in the top 3, if not the top 2 this week.
Yeah, huge.
They thought it was going to make $10, $12 million. It did 1.8. That is horrible. Go ahead.
Not like all things aside, I think one of the demographic of people that would want to go check out this movie to either go see it to appreciate it or go see it and hate on it had to work.
That's true.
Because I know a bunch of DJs that were like, we're on talking about it. Well, we can give it a chance. I want to hate it on it. I want to do whatever. They had to work. They're working DJs. They're not going out on the weekends.
That's very true. That is very true.
I want to see. I bet the numbers for this next week will go up.
You think that throughout the week?
Yeah, through the week, like the week sales, I'll get it.
Okay.
Can't go down anymore.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and even the party goers.
Yeah.
The party goers are going out, and those are the people that might want to go see this. So that's true. That might be. That's a good observation. I would have to agree with that. I think that the movie just looked predictable.
Yeah.
Looked boring. So you're not going to get anyone else other than the DJ community and the party goers,
or like the
which isn't a huge group. I mean, it's not a huge group. It's like the comic book fans. I mean, it's the 1% of the 1%ers kind of deal.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I think that
diehard Zac Efron fans maybe.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I thought a lot of chicks would go out
the
and see
Efronians.
this.
Or I don't know.
Personally, I am a Zac Efron. I like him. I think he's a really talented
You're an
actor.
Ephronite?
I am. I'm an Ephronite. I'm an Ephronimaniac.
I like it too, actually.
All right, so we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to the next topic, and that is a report of Borderlands, which is a video game, is being adapted into a movie by Lionsgate. Has anyone here played the game? And if you have or haven't, what are your thoughts on the game being adapted into a movie? We are going to go now. I'm going to start off with Brian. Let's see what you have to say about Borderlands.
So, again, not much of a video game guy.
Right, me neither.
I did a little research on the video game, and I see it's a very heavy sci-fi game. Mm-hmm. And just looking at the description of it, I was like, no, not for me. It's actually too sci-fi for me.
You think so?
It looked... Yeah, I don't know. I was looking at just some of the visuals, some of the images that I saw online, and I was just trying to think of those characters translating onto the screen, and it just seemed it seemed actually too sci-fi for me, which is weird because I know we're going to talk about Prometheus next. I'm going to talk about how excited I am for that, which is obviously a sci-fi movie,
right?
But I don't know, this one
it's different content.
Well, the other thing too about Prometheus is that it connects to the Alien movie, so that's that helps.
If I had, I mean, for me, I've never played the game.
Yeah,
not a big gamer.
Yeah.
But I do like watching games getting made into movies.
Right.
They don't turn out well usually, but I do like the idea. I like the idea of it. I like.
Wasn't The Rock in that?
Yes. I actually almost watched that recently. I was like,
I almost watched it.
I had the DVD. Like I was going through a bunch of old DVDs, and I had it, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll watch this again because I like The Rock. But I remember it not being very good. So that was was it Carl Urban too? He was in that, I think so.
And give me John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins. All right, Super Mario Brothers.
Oh gosh. But this to me, this movie, The Borderlands being made, this movie never would have gotten made, even gotten greenlit if Mad Max didn't do well. Yeah. Because this is kind of that dystopian type movie. Right. So it's almost like Mad Max meets like, I want to say like Edge of Tomorrow / Starship Troopers kind of deal, like those kind of movies, like mixing all those together. It's very sci-fi, but also at the same time, got that dystopian feel where it's like a lot of desert and like just a lot of death, but it's got these weird, crazy dogs. I watched a lot of gameplay. Yeah. I sat down, I watched about 30 minutes of gameplay. I actually rather watch people play these games.
My wife's the same way. She'd rather watch me play the games.
Because I think it's cool. I like the storyline that goes along with it rather than playing it and like kind of losing the storyline because you're so focused on trying to kill things. So
Wait, can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah.
What is with the obsession of people watching other people play games? Now, I'm bringing this up because my kids... they will watch on YouTube some British guy playing Minecraft.
Yeah.
And they love it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you watching?
Well, we watch people play baseball.
Well, we're watching this guy play Minecraft. And I'm like, what?
We watch people play baseball.
It's true.
No, it's not. It's the same thing.
It's kind of the same thing.
No, that would be like us watching baseball players watching other people play baseball.
No, because they're playing. Playing the game.
I don't know. I don't know what's happening right now.
They're playing the game.
Something you could
it's
be doing.
Player watching players play, watching players.
Like Inception of a baseball game.
It's different.
It's something that you could be doing. So you could be playing baseball. No, you're watching somebody play baseball. Like so, that's where
I can't. It's not the same.
It's a little different because you're not actually watching a human.
Yeah.
But you're watching somebody play a game.
Friends of mine have played Borderlands and Borderlands 2. I've seen it. Like the music, like even the soundtrack was good. With it, the Heavy has a great record that came out with that.
But it's different though because if you're watching somebody play a video game, oh wait,
I tried to segue.
If you're watching somebody play a video game, that's theoretically something you could do. If you and I are watching a Major League Baseball game, we cannot do what those guys are doing.
Well, you can, but
not
at the same level.
On a lower level.
Yeah.
We could play a rec league.
It's not the best analogy. You probably could have come up with something better.
I don't know.
Off the
cuff,
I thought
it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good.
Agree to disagree. Move on. I cut you off anyway. So I feel bad.
Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I just like I think the video game adaptations are going to be a little bit more popular now, especially with the way things and technology are advancing and like the amount of detail and everything they're putting into it. I think it could be really cool if you can suspend your disbelief into getting inside like whatever world it is, if it's some kind of otherworldly kind of thing. If you can suspend your disbelief that far, I think you'll be good. And I totally agree that it is that Mad Max like. The end of the world, you got to fight to survive kind of, mentality in this game that kind of
It's cool, but it also has that sci-fi like alien kind of presence too as well. I like it. I think it's going to adapt well.
Yeah.
But, I actually like the first Tomb Raider movie. I love Mortal Kombat, the original. Yeah, I even didn't mind the second one. It wasn't anywhere near as good, but I didn't mind the second one.
Second one was garbage.
The Annihilation.
Yeah.
I've liked
the series that came on YouTube or whatever when they rebooted that. That was really good.
Yeah.
I told you about that.
Oh my gosh, on YouTube. I watched that.
Yeah.
I watched that.
The
That
Legacy.
was,
whatever.
yeah, that was really
Can I make
good.
a suggestion for a future F, Marry, Kill? How about video game movies?
We could do
Yes.
that. Absolutely. Especially with some good ones coming out soon. I mean, we
Yeah.
have the World of Warcraft coming out soon. Assassin's Creed, that's going to be good. So, and we're going to be talking about that a little bit later. So we have some other things that we're going to be talking about as well. We got some trailers like Victor Frankenstein and the one that Brian wants to talk about. We got some Star Wars stuff that we're going to be talking about. Got a couple things here that we have on tap for today. The next one up is the next topic will be Prometheus 2 is happening, and it will be Ridley Scott's next film. He came out and said this in an interview. And in an interview with Empire Magazine, he stated that he is already in heavy pre-production on the film, and it's his next project. Apparently, Scott has also asked/told Fox to push back the next Alien movie, who's being directed by Neil Blomkamp, so that Ridley Scott's movie can release first. What are your thoughts on everything going on with Ridley Scott's Prometheus 2, or even the next Alien film, if you want to talk about the next one with Blomkamp? I'll start off with Brandon. Why don't you start off here and let me know what you think about this?
I think it's great. I like Prometheus a lot, and I think it did really well. A lot of people that are, I don't know, I heard mixed reviews about it from other people. Didn't like it, didn't think they fully got it. They knew it kind of tied it into Alien at the end, but they weren't really sure how it was going to go. Some people were let down because all the hype was like supremely huge about it. I didn't feel that way because I thought the movie was great. It was beautifully shot. I think it was done very well. I think Fassbender did a phenomenal job. I think the female lead in that she did great. She's the one from the Dragon Tattoo movies too.
Yeah.
I think,
was the Mara girl.
Yeah,
I can't remember her first name.
I think
It's
it
not
was
Kate, the other one.
I think it was great. I think it was a great concept. Even was it Guy Ritchie in there or Guy Pearce?
Guy Pearce.
Yeah. Guy Pearce even did
Fassbender
did a great job. I already said.
Yeah, he's amazing. He was my favorite part in that movie.
Yeah, the fact that this is coming, they are doing another one, I think is great because you get left on such a great note that it's it has that tie.
It had a good cliffhanger.
Yeah, it had a great cliffhanger.
Now, to throw something in there, Ridley Scott has come out and said that he is not going to have the aliens in the next Prometheus movie.
Right.
He's going to have there's not going to be anything really out there that's going to have any of the aliens. So you're not going to have that in the next movie. How does that make you feel about it?
I don't know. Because I mean, it's out there that it's a prequel to it. You know what I mean? They can go on and tell another part of the the blue, like the creators, like the blue guys, like their story. You know what I mean? And go do something completely different, and then maybe tie something into the aliens, like at the end, like they did with the first one. I think that if he didn't do it, like if there's nothing in it, I don't think that's going to be the case.
Would you be disappointed though?
Maybe, yeah, probably.
How about you? Would you be disappointed?
Yeah. Well,
it's hard.
I mean, you did show a little baby alien
at the
end of the first one, so it does seem a little weird. It wouldn't stop me from seeing it, knowing that. I also don't believe him.
Yeah, that's what I say too. Like, I think he's full of crap.
I don't know. I can't buy that. But then again, I mean, I don't know why you would definitively say, because that could prevent people from going to see it.
Mm-hmm.
He could have just not said anything, which would have been probably the better move either way.
Right.
So,
well, I'll give it to you like this, because J.J. Abrams said the same thing about Khan being in the last Star Trek.
That's
movie.
true.
He's full of crap.
He's known for doing. He's known for doing
you
stuff
know what
like
I mean?
that.
So like that could be like.
Whereas Ridley
directors
Scott
feel the need to swerve us
because I think it's so easy to spoil movies nowadays because like there's so many cameras on set and stuff like that. Like,
but the better thing to do is just don't say anything.
Yeah.
Don't say definitively this person or that person or this alien
and
or
let
that
us
alien will
fanboys
not
just
be in the,
start talking about how much we're looking
I
forward to it.
I guess it's directors trolling us.
Maybe, maybe.
Which is fine.
For me, I think it's a brilliant. This whole thing with him talking to Fox and having them push back the aliens.
Oh, I do too.
I think that's a brilliant move by Ridley Scott because the Alien movies that have come out in the last several years have not been good.
No.
They have been very bad. So I think it's very good to try and distance himself from that movie, especially because even Neil Blomkamp's movies have been kind of critically panned lately. Yeah. They haven't been doing great, especially critically and box office. So I think he wants to just give himself a nice 18-month window to kind of let his movie shine, and then have that movie come out.
Makes him look better anyway.
Exactly.
It's smart on his
And the other thing with him is I think because with his, I want to see him come back. I want to see him get back to the Ridley Scott that we all used to love with the Gladiator, the Alien movies, and all that. Just those great movies, those iconic movies that he made that are just so great. I want to see him come back, and I've heard that The Martian is really, really good. That he's doing with Matt Damon and everything right now. That's coming out very soon. I think it's coming out. It's coming out in about 6 weeks or so. Yeah. I've heard that movie is really good, so I'm looking forward to that because I want to see Ridley Scott back on top, and I'm hoping that that Martian is going to get everybody all amped up, and that will actually help Prometheus too as well. Because the first one, it was kind of critically some people loved it, some people didn't like it. I personally thought I thought it was boring. I didn't like it. I was bored. Really? I was bored by the movie. I did like some of the performances in it, but I don't know that. I haven't seen all the Alien movies. I've seen 1, 2, and that was it. I saw the Alien vs Predator, which was not.
I told you watch 3. You got to watch 3. I thought 3 was way better than 2. I thought 3 was actually really good. The one in the prison.
So I am looking forward to.
I did not like that one. I like the 1 and 2. I like the Alien and Aliens. Yeah.
I'm looking
not
forward
the Winona
to
Ryder one.
His movie come out.
Not the Resurrection and all that.
No. You didn't even have to bring her up. She should just focus on Beetlejuice 2 right now.
Yes.
All right, so we are up to the next segment.
Or go shoplift at Macy's.
Oh, Jesus. It's doing it for a role.
You go way back like that, or you should go meet up with Johnny Depp and go do
It's not too soon, is it? Okay. Maybe I should.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler
she got arrested. What, 10, 12, 15 years ago?
Yeah.
Whatever. I still did it.
All right. Next segment up.
She couldn't afford a blouse at Macy's?
You said blouse.
I know. Well, I wanted it to be sort of like
she had to get some pantaloons.
A time-appropriate reference because nobody says blouse anymore. At the time she stole the blouse, people called them blouses.
Should we move on to the next segment?
Probably. Yeah, we know you're gonna edit this out. So he might not.
Yeah, sometimes I surprise people.
Sometimes he does surprise me,
and I don't edit it out.
In or out of the movie trailer park.
In or out of the movie trailer park is where we talk about trailers that have come out recently. Try and keep it within the last 5 to 8 days or so. And this is where we tell you if we're in or out on this movie based off of the trailer. Most of the trailers are found on Movie Clips. Some of them aren't. I think the one that I am going to be doing wasn't on Movie Clips. I think you have to kind of search.
It was like an indie
one.
There was an indie version of it.
Yeah.
That's where I found it.
But first, we're going to be starting off with Brian's Victor Frankenstein.
Yes.
Victor Frankenstein.
Yes.
This is Victor Frankenstein told from Igor's perspective. We see the troubled young assistant's dark origins, his redemptive friendship with the young medical student Victor von Frankenstein, and become eyewitnesses to the emergence of how Frankenstein became the man and the legend.
Yes.
We know today. What do you think about Victor Frankenstein, the movie?
When I watched...
Are you in or out?
Oh, I'm so in. And I'll tell you why. Because in addition to really loving the trailer, and I really... it looks like the movie is beautifully shot. I liked a lot of the... It seemed very bright, very vibrant, yet very sort of toned down color-wise too, though.
Okay.
But one of the things that really excites me is, as I was sort of looking back on Frankenstein movies, I kind of came to the realization that there were not many great ones. There really aren't. I mean, if you go... Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, I did not think was good. It certainly was not memorable to me.
Okay.
The only thing that was probably even remotely classic in the Frankenstein genre was the Boris Karloff movie from 1958.
Yeah. Right.
I mean...
What about the young Frankenstein?
Yeah, I knew he was going to go there. I was wondering where you were going. I said, I knew she was.
No, but yes. And yes, I mean, sure. from a comedy perspective, absolutely.
Yeah.
But as far as trying to actually really tell the story, this finally seems like the movie that might do it.
Okay.
And I am really excited for it. We have, if you've watched any podcast with me before, you pretty much know how much I love James McAvoy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about Harry Potter as Igor, but
Daniel Radcliffe.
yeah, okay, but who cares? But it is told from his perspective, right?
Yes,
so
it is. Yeah.
There's gonna be a little bit more of him than I had hoped for, but but at least McAvoy as Victor Frankenstein excites me though, and the movie looks really, really good. The only thing I'm kind of upset about is that God, this bothers me so much. I hate that the movie's actually not coming out like in October, like early to mid-October around
Right.
Halloween. It's like November 25th. But I mean,
Is it?
Yeah, which whatever. But
Wonder if the studio has something else coming out at that point.
maybe I don't know. But I just that movie I'm all in on. I was by the time the trailer ended, I was like, oh no, please keep going. So
I did that by accident.
all in.
All in. So what
All
about
in.
you, Brandon? What are you in? Are you in? You in? You out? You in? You out? You in? You out?
I'm kind of on the fence.
Okay.
Only because and like you were saying, the movie looks shot really well.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of reminds me of Van Helsing a little bit,
Okay.
which was bad.
Yes.
Like
That's a guilty pleasure of mine.
yeah, I've seen it.
You're really guilty.
I've
I
seen
like
it
that
more
movie.
than
Super
once,
guilty.
so I feel like I'm part of in that boat a
Yeah.
little bit. So that's what kind of makes me kind of about it, because like you see like the way that some of the trailer was cut to with the line, like the little quibs, and then he throws the switch, whatever.
Yeah.
Like it looks kind of cheesy, like a little bit, which I'm not like.
But don't you want some of the classics? It's Alive.
That
kinda-
no, the way he took that, it
Yeah.
was great. It wasn't like over the top. It's
was-
alive.
yeah, it wasn't
It was
nuts.
very like in the moment. Like you know,
Yeah.
I like that, and like the fact that seemed to be like some animals alive first, and then he gets kind of upgrades to that. Like I dig that, and things like I like when they take twist on other things and kind of make it new or edgy or whatever. Like 30 Days of Night, like to like a vampire movie. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. I'm just worried that it's gonna be hokey, and I wouldn't want it to be hokey.
See, that was
like,
the thing that drew me to it. Was it didn't seem to me that it would go down that hokey.
And that's what I like is that you always get with these movies and everything, you
Yeah.
get the subjectivity of it all. Like one person's eyes sees one thing,
Yeah.
another person's eyes sees something totally different. And for me, I'm kind of on board with you both. I love revisiting any movie, especially this. I love these monster movies. I love the casting for the movie.
Yeah.
Like anything with James McAvoy in it, sign me up. I
Yep.
think he's a very brilliant actor, and I think he's actually a little underrated. He's
Way
very
underrated.
talented, but he's not like that leading role yet. He's kind of like where Jake Gyllenhaal used to be, where he kind of wasn't the leading role of movies, and now he's slowly
I
starting
think
to make
he's
his way up
I
there.
think he's more talented than Gyllenhaal.
They're close. I think that James McAvoy is more talented, but as of right now, the dude is a brilliant actor. I think that the one thing that always gets me worried with these kind of movies is the way that
Potter.
they the way that they treat these monsters, the
Right.
CGI effect. I want the practical effects with these monsters, and the like with the beloved originals that we were just talking about.
Yeah.
They had practical effects with these monsters, and the CG in this, like having things jump out and like all quick, and it looked blurry, like they didn't want to show you the monster because it might not look good. Like I don't want to see things like Seventh Son and Van Helsing, like some of the stuff that was in there, or even like I Frankenstein, like the gargoyles. And
I won't even watch
horrible.
that. Like I'm not watching.
horrible.
Yeah,
And
you
that
did
I
this
want
much.
to see more practical than CG. You don't need to. You can figure out ways to mix the two and make it look cool. And this looked like it was going to be heavy CG on some of those aspects. But I did like some like the jars with the eye moving and all that kind of.
Yeah,
I thought
that stuff
cool looking.
looked cool. But you
Creepy
could
and-
create that with practical too. You know,
Right,
like,
exactly, and that's
the
what I
lightning
want.
on the thing. You know, when they create like when they like the big open part where the lightning striking down. You know, that part looked like it. You know, I just don't. I want it to look right. I want it to look like it should. I don't know.
All right. Next one up is Brandon's movie,
right.
and that is what is it called? The Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse.
That's right.
So,
Did you
so
need to see
the
Igor?
Scout's Guide of the Zombie Apocalypse is 3 scouts on the eve of their last campout discovered the true meaning of friendship when they attempt to save their town from a zombie outbreak. All right, Brandon.
Yeah.
Are you in or out? And by the way, I'm in on Victor Frankenstein.
Okay. I'm in on it. It's not a movie that's going to get me to go to the theater. It's something that I'd watch if it came on Netflix and things like that. But I like the concept of it. I like the, kind of younger twist. It kind of reminds me of like a Project X meets kind of, like a zombie. Yeah, like a Zombieland kind of movie there. There's some cool cameos that are in there that are interesting. One of the actors is Arnold Schwarzenegger's son. Then you have that guy.
Which one is that?
Patrick, the guy who plays Jeff.
I don't know which one that is. Yeah.
Cloris Leachman's in it. And then there's that guy, David Koechner. He's in everything. He's the manager in Waiting.
Oh, okay.
He's that ball.
Okay,
he's all that awkward. He's on Saturday Night Live, Kids and all.
Yeah.
So he's in this, and Blake Anderson from Workaholics.
Yeah, he had a quick little glimpse.
Yeah, of and even there's some little music side note DJ reference. Dylan Francis actually has a cameo in this movie.
Huh.
In the Red Band trailer, you see him kind of get shot, his head blown up.
Oh, was that him?
In slow motion. Yeah, the guy that got his head blown
all right.
up, yeah. So it looks to me like it could be kind of like a fun movie to watch late night when I don't sleep. So
in or out? In?
Yeah, I'm in.
Totally in. All right, what do you think, Brian?
I'm in from it, especially. I would go to the theater to see it. I wouldn't necessarily have to wait for Netflix. The only thing that kind of bothers me about it is I wish it had. I know we talked about some cameos, but I wish it had a little more star power, up front.
Yeah.
Which is not to say I do not like movies that have a lot of young actors. That's great. That's how they get their break. Everybody gets started. To me, it does sort of look like a Zombieland kind of meets Superbad almost.
A little bit, yeah.
And I would like to see a little bit more star power. Maybe there'll be a cameo, somebody really famous that has a little bit more of a role. See, the one thing I loved about Zombieland was Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, he's great.
So, I mean, you had him front and center, and then, of course, you had the great Bill Murray appearance, which was just unreal. But
and Emma Stone was even kind of big at that time.
Still all in, though. I liked just some of the visuals of very graphic zombie heads exploding and veiny zombie boobs. And I mean, it was very
definitely
visually...
watch the Red Band trailer because
the Red Band trailer.
The very end, holy shit, it's so funny.
Yes, there was.
In or out?
Oh, in. No, in.
Totally in.
And I'll go see it in the theater too.
All right.
And guess when it's coming out.
Yeah, probably appropriate, October or
Halloween. October 30th. Yeah.
There you go. Well done.
I am
it's not rocket surgery.
This is something that I would love to see in the theater, and laugh my ass off. Just watch.
Should we all go?
Absolutely. I'm ready to go. I am totally in on this. I watched this trailer, and this was the one that I was going to pick, but I ended up finding something else that I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit. And this movie looks so incredibly funny, and that little clip at the very end.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite parts in this movie is the zombie cats that have that.
Yes.
Holy shit. All I saw, you see the little paws come up on the corner, and then
it's that awkward pause, it's coming.
Yes, exactly. And all that did was remind me of the rabbit in a Holy Grail. Monty Python's The Holy Grail. The little rabbit coming up and killing all the people. I thought there was, and then you see all the paws coming underneath the door in the trailer for the zombie. Oh, I thought it was hilarious.
I could see my wife at that movie, we have cats in the house.
Yes.
I'm not gonna say how many, but we have cats, and I can see her being demonstratively excited when the cats. She's gonna be rooting for the cats to take out as many humans as possible. I can see her. Get him.
Oh, that's great. So all three of us are all in.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get to see a screener of that. That would be great. All right, so my trailer is coming up is All Things Must Pass. And this is a Tower Records documentary. Holy shit, that's a long-ass synopsis. Established in 1960, Tower Records was once a retail powerhouse with 200 stores in 30 countries on 5 continents. From humble beginnings to a small-town drugstore, Tower Records eventually became the heart and soul of the music world and a powerful force in the music industry. In 1999, Tower Records made $1 billion, and in 2006, the company filed for bankruptcy. What went wrong? Everyone thinks they know what killed Tower Records, the internet, but that's not the story. All Things Must Pass is a feature documentary film examining this iconic company's explosive trajectory, tragic demise, and legacy forged by its rebellious founder, Russ Solomon. So, I rarely bring up documentaries and stuff like this, but I happened to see this trailer, and I was really intrigued by the whole thing. The movie itself, just because that's what I would have thought. If somebody just said, what happened to these record stores like Strawberry and Tower Records and stuff like that, what happened to these stores? Right. And why are they... Because of the internet. Same thing that happened to Blockbuster. Like, eventually things are easily...
That hits home for me.
I know. It hits home for a lot of people, especially our age, because we all grew up going to Blockbuster, picking out the movies, getting in fights with friends on which movie to pick.
Getting in fights with customers.
Because he worked at Blockbuster.
Oh, I did.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Not like physical, but they were stared out.
There's a John Mulaney, stand-up comic John Mulaney sketch that he's like, I talking about finding a certain movie was in stock. He would call on the telephone to Blockbuster to see if it's Addams Family Values, to see if Addams Family Values was in there yet. Yeah. He's like, now I realize that's a very dated statement because he's like, I used the telephone to call Blockbuster. It's like, touche. Like that's very, very true.
Yeah. So I am really looking forward to seeing the actual demise. I think it's just a stubborn owner. That's what it seems like it's going to be. Like, you have other companies that figured out a way, like FYI, entertainment. They kind of went more in the entertainment route, have movies, have stuff to sell, DVDs, and they just went a bunch of different ways to try and keep up with the times. Right. But I would love to see the drama in the background and the way that it's told. And the other thing that I'm very interested to see is Colin Hanks, which is Tom Hanks' son, is the director of this movie.
I want to see what he's got.
I can't wait to see this because I like him as an actor. Yeah. And I love his father. Yeah. His father can do no wrong, in my opinion. So
and the trailer was cut really well too. I liked how it was done.
I left the trailer and I was like, I want to see this. Yeah. I want to see this in the movies. The problem is I don't think it's going to come out in a theater near us.
Yeah. So, not wide release,
So, but we do have an independent theater near my house, which is like 10 minutes from here. Yeah. That gets a lot of those movies, but I don't know if they'll get the documentary. So I'm hoping for it, but I would love to see this I'm definitely in on it. Yeah. And I would love to see it in the theater, but I don't know if I'll get the chance to. What do you think?
I want to see it, but it's like the Titanic. I know how it's going to end. It's going to be sad. I know it's a documentary, but I still,
But the drama.
First of all, the title of the movie, All Things Must Pass. I mean, you know how it's ending. I don't know.
It's a George Harrison record, I think.
Yeah.
I'm actually, but like you said, I'm actually kind of more in it for Colin Hanks because I want to see the directing shots. I want to see what he's got.
And he's got a great lineage. So.
Yes.
His mother and father are both very young.
Has any child ever had greater expectations heaped upon them?
And he's doing well with it,
and
too.
He's delivering, like, you know what I mean?
Maybe like the offspring of like Andre Agassi and Steffi Graf, maybe.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I mean, by the way, that kid's done nothing.
Michael Jordan's son.
Useless.
Wayne Gretzky's kids.
Useless.
Can't even skate.
I'm looking forward to maybe seeing it. Like, now I won't go to the theater to see
Netflix
it,
or something like
that. I'd watch it like that. I like the stories that they're telling about the rock and roll people that would come through there and throw parties. Dave Grohl, Elton John, like all that stuff.
Looks like you've got some decent original footage.
There would be like some backroom parties and like company parties and stuff like that. I would like to see that. Yep. Almost kind of reminds me of like, I mean, not like Empire Records, but like similar to that, but more like kind of Boogie Nights with like the time period and maybe just because the way the trailer was kind of shot and cut like that, like with the owner is going to be throwing some coke fuel music benders and
I'm
stuff
looking
like
forward
that.
to seeing it. I really can't wait to see it. I'm really high on this movie, so
I do want to see what the demise was because I would think it would just be the internet and the way that the whole music industry changed and evolved. Anyway, you either get involved or you get ran over.
Are they even around anymore?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
No. All right, so that is it for the trailers that we have there.
Tower Records forever!
We are going to take a quick break where we're going to have a little segment in there. And we will be coming back with 30-second thoughts where we're going to be talking about things like some nice touching moments that we've seen recently. We're also going to be talking about some releases that are coming out next month, and we have a couple of pictures in. But first, let me take a selfie that we want to also take a look at, and some good random rants and rave reviews. So we'll be back with all of that very soon in just a few seconds.
Chad! How come you're not?
Why are you up in Maine? Chad! Be on the lookout for bears.
Chad! Stop touching that moose.
Chad! Are you gonna go to LLB?
Chad! Bring me back a whoopie pie.
Oh man.
Chad! Did you know the Maine state bird is the chickadee?
Is it really? Yeah. Oh my god.
I just told that Maine fun fact.
That is Maine fun facts.
Chad, do people in Maine know how to tweet?
Chad! Are you gonna visit Kennebunkport?
Maine!
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it.
Maine! Your state is boring.
Maine!
Maine! Maine! At least you have lobster. Cinemaniacs! We need you to subscribe.
Hey! Make sure you follow the CineBros.
Make sure to like us on Facebook.
Shane! Get back here so we can start the next segment.
We are back. Woo! We are back to do 30-second thoughts.
30-second thoughts.
30-second thoughts.
Bum bum bum.
30-second thoughts is where we get topics, and we are just given 30 seconds to give our thoughts on each particular topic. First topic up is, let's open this bad boy right here. First topic up is last week we had something that I love that happens on social media, and that's with Johnny Depp dressing up as Captain Jack Sparrow and doing stuff for, like these cancer survivors or cancer patients or just, kids in general that are dealt a bad hand. And he went there to go kind of lift up their spirits, make them happy, and just it's a great thing to do with these characters that you have. Hugh Jackman also recently did something similar.
In Australia.
Yeah, and
We love you, Australia.
this video,
Aussie.
I think this is wonderful, and it really warms your hearts. So let's give our 30-second thoughts on this wonderfulness. We'll start off with you, Brandon. Ready?
Oh.
Go.
It was great.
Blade! We're gonna need a little
It's time to go.
more.
It's time to emote. I'm wasting time because it happened actually in the summertime. People are just now catching wind of it now. I think going viral. It's cool. I think it's cool for them to take time out. I think that's kind of part of being a celebrity is you need to kind of give back and do things like that. Athletes and like John Cena or Russell Wilson, they're doing it a lot. So I think it's good for guys to step in and do that. With Robert Downey Jr. doing the arm. Did you see that one?
Oh yes, I did a while ago.
That.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I think it's cool. I think it's expected of them, at least on my end.
What do you think, Brian?
What Blaine said. I mean, it's been circulating for a few weeks, but it is sort of starting to make a little bit more social media around now. It's awesome. I mean, how can you not love it? And how can you not love the fact that Johnny Depp knows how influential his character is and how important that character is to kids, and it's just awesome. I can't talk about it because I'll start crying. So we should probably just move on. Thank you, Bill, for ringing. Did me a favor there.
Well, I think it's really heartwarming. I think just all the sentiments that you guys broke out. I love that they not only, especially in Johnny Depp's situation, where he not only came dressed as him, he acted as him as well. And you had even the secondary character there as well that just it just makes it even more real, to have both of them there kind of play off each other a little. And then with Hugh Jackman, how he was in a different room and he's supposed to just be making this phone call with this one kid, and then says, "Oh, I'm going to show you something. I got something really cool to show you real quick. Let me show you." And he comes into the room and he's like, and he does his Wolverine pose and all that stuff. I love that stuff, and I wish we would see more of it. Like, instead of a few times a year, like we saw it with Chris Pratt and Chris Evans do some stuff, and I would like to see it maybe like, I don't know, once a month almost.
By the way, I just realized a few seconds ago I called you Blaine.
Yeah,
I went like last
straight
name,
last Latin.
Yeah, sorry.
Like,
you don't have to apologize to me.
you're in shorts. You're in shortstop. Get in there, champ.
What Brandon said too is I think it's incumbent upon actors and actresses to give back. I mean that's one of the things that
Now, do you think Cara Delevingne would do that?
Whore. She would do a goddamn thing. Did we actually have we nailed down the proper pronunciation of her name?
No.
All right, it's more fun.
Well, Delevingne.
There was a video that came out for like the Connecticut Children's Hospital and stuff like that. Like the guys were dressing up as like superheroes and they were giving like kids capes and like they're running around like them doing the window washing as like Spider-Man and stuff like that. And like that kind of stuff is good. Like you should like there are everyday people doing really good things out there. So
like the guy who dresses up as Batman and goes to hospitals and stuff, he just passed away recently. And then there was another Batman that does a similar thing, and he came in and filled in his place.
Yes, he stepped in for him.
That's just like that's great, like local hero kind of stuff. It's just amazing. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna segue in here. Not really a good segue, but what movie is getting released in September that you are most looking forward to? So there are several good movies that are coming out next month. We're going to start off with the man to my right here, Brian. What are some of the movies or the movie that you are most looking forward to coming out in September?
There's two. One is, we talked about this earlier, no joke, Hotel Transylvania 2.
Yes.
I loved the first one. My kids loved it. And as we all know, these movies are now made not just for children, but for adults.
Except for Minions.
This one looks no different. And number two, and this will probably get some eye rolls, but I have desperately clung to the hope that M. Night Shyamalan's career will be
The Visit.
somehow resurrected, and I hope The Visit might be it. I have really low expectations after seeing the trailer. It looks bad. I mean, evil grandma there is throwing the kid in the oven. It does not look good. I'm hoping the worst parts are in the trailer.
All right, Brandon, what do you think?
Was a good segue
Blaine.
from John Blaine.
Blaine!
Blaine, it's your turn to go.
Sorry.
Johnny Depp segue. Black Mass.
That's the movie that you're most looking forward to?
Yeah.
Going to see in the theater?
It'll be close. It's almost there. It was actually filmed like where I went to high school up in Massachusetts.
Oh, cool.
A lot of it was shot in Lynn, Massachusetts, City of Sin, which is not ironic but appropriate. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to see that. The trailers and stuff that we've seen, he just looks like an absolute monster, and like it's just great because.
Cesario gets an honorable mention too.
Sicario? Yeah.
Sicario, yes, sorry.
Sicario is a Phil Collins.
I'm having some pronunciation problems this morning.
Shane! I can't say the right words.
You need to edit this shit out.
I need to enunciate.
All right. So for me, I am going to have to say that there are a few movies that I'm really looking forward to. One is The Intern with Anne Hathaway and Robert De Niro. I am big into romantic comedies. This is kind of on that romantic comedy side of it, but it's not.
It shouldn't be.
But no, it's just got that. It's got that comedic but also touching, heartwarming kind of flair to it. With more as a friend than it is, and a father figure than it is as a rom-com. But I'm also looking forward to The Maze Runner, The Scorched Trials.
Oh yeah, second one. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that as well. I really enjoyed the first one more than I enjoyed the first Hunger Games. So I'm looking forward to The Scorched Trials. But the one I'm most want to see is Black Mask. Yeah. Because I think that Johnny Depp, just that look on his face, just looks so evil and scary. And I wanted to see him in a role like this for such a long time again. Yeah. And I'm so looking.
I'm
forward
done
to
with
it.
like the whole Jack Sparrow. I'm so done with him being Jack Sparrow. Like all like
Really?
oh
God, he can make 10 more of those.
I'm
movies.
over it, man.
Down.
Like he's one of my favorite actors of all time when he's not in doing shit like that.
Like Blow and Donnie
weird.
Brasco.
No, but
and-
yeah, everything else. Like even like was it Once Upon a Time in Mexico? Like where
Oh,
he's,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, like everything. Secret Window I thought was great. Like there's tons of movies that he's been in that are really really good.
A weird random thought just popped into my head. Do you think the working title for The Visit was called Bad Grandma? Sorry. You can't edit that.
Brian!
That title was horrendous.
Okay. We are going to the next segment, and that is
But first, let me take a selfie.
But first, let me take a selfie is a hot new trend to take photos and videos and post them on social media. That's what a lot of directors, actors, and all that kind of stuff are doing. And the first one up is we get our first look at Michael Fassbender in Assassin's Creed, the movie that's going to be coming out in a little while. What are your thoughts on his appearance? And is this film, is this film, are you getting exciting for it because of this a little appearance, or are you just excited for the film in general? Brandon, we'll start with you.
I'm excited for the film. I thought he looked great in the role, in the picture that they put out. I thought he looked really cool. I was thinking maybe they'd go with someone a little different. Like I was surprised that if his acting chops, like it's a good buzzword for you, are great. So I think that's good. I was expecting when they were going to make this movie that they would cast someone else. Maybe someone a little less known, and maybe actually, to be weird, like a little more Middle Eastern. But I'm really excited for this game. Well, I love the game franchise. So the fact that this is being made into a movie, I'm all for it.
Okay.
The fact that Ubisoft is, developing like their own movie studio and over in France and like they're doing all that stuff, like I couldn't be more in. Like I know it's not that part of it, but I'm in.
All right. What about you, Brian?
100% in. The picture was really cool. A good start for a teaser.
Yeah.
And it looked like, as far as the costume and everything, pretty
spot on.
Yeah.
They didn't try and overdo it or, not play it up enough. It looked pretty authentic to the game. Assassin's Creed's one of those weird ones. I mean, I've already kind of talked about the fact that I'm not much of a gamer. But if I ever was going to play a video game, it would be Assassin's Creed
So
because
good.
it looks so cool.
Yeah.
And I remember even when like the even like a few years ago when the Revolutionary War one came out, I asked my wife to get me that for Christmas. I never played it. I didn't even take it out of the wrapper, but I just wanted it because the fact
you're a
like
Revolutionary
seeing
War
that
fan.
guy in the commercial talking to George Washington was so cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, I am too. I'm the same way. I'm not a big gamer. I don't, but I do like these made into movie games, like these games that are made into movies. I love it. I love the photo. The photo actually, and it's tough to see a photo and have it really get you excited for a movie that hasn't even had much going on yet.
Yeah.
This photo looks so good. He looks so cool in that suit and that getup. He had the little daggers that were coming out. I can't wait to see this play out. He's a producer on this movie and everything as well. I am so looking forward to this, and because not only do I like movies that are getting made into like these video games that are getting made into movies, but when you start talking about like assassins, that is one of like the cool things. Like I even like Antonio Banderas and Sylvester Stallone
in Assassins.
Yeah, that was so good. I like the.
That's a guilty pleasure.
Just
I
the
thought you
whole-
were going
Seems like guilty
Desperado
pleasure.
with that.
No.
Oh yeah,
No,
let's
no,
talk about that.
no.
I love Assassins.
Yeah, so it's
was
like
good.
I like these. I love just the idea of assassins.
That would make
and-
me number one.
So I just like the idea of it. So this on top of it, this on top of that is just great. I can't wait. I'm so looking forward to the movie. It's probably the one video game adaptation that I'm most looking forward to right now.
I would say because we talked about that earlier. This would be mine. Like I'm really looking forward.
I
to
was
it.
actually going to say,
the story looks like it can really play
is there
it well.
any way this won't be
cinematically.
like the greatest video game movie ever? I mean,
I
don't know. That's a huge statement because
there's not a lot of good ones. I mean,
great or good even, but
Mortal
Would you
Kombat's
call
amazing.
Wreck-It Ralph a video game movie?
Kind of, sorta.
Pixels.
No, that's not. That's not good.
Hey, I like pixels.
No, in fairness, we like pixels. So.
Yes, it's true. Very true. All right.
We're the only two in America, but hey.
I refuse.
Somebody had to like it.
I refuse to watch that movie. I refuse to watch it.
You don't like Adam Sandler.
I don't like Adam Sandler or Kevin James.
fair.
I don't like Adam Sandler as of within the last 10 years. So give me the classic Sandler stuff. Like I'm fine with that.
It's got to be a Happy Madison movie. It's got to be one of the two.
All right. Recently, we got on Instagram a teaser for Star Wars: The Force Awakens. We got a few new glimpses in what we haven't seen, some that we've seen before, some that we haven't seen before. Plus, we get to see John Boyega's character wielding a lightsaber. What are your thoughts?
That guy.
Yeah.
Finn.
What are your thoughts on this new Instagram video, this footage? All right, we will start. Go ahead, Brandon. Big Star Wars nut.
Yeah.
Darth Vader.
That's me. Yeah, I like the fact that they released a little bit of extra footage. It's not a new trailer. I don't think they need to put out a new trailer. I do understand that they need to put content out to keep everybody fresh. That this movie's coming out. Don't forget, that kind of thing. And I thought it was cool to kind of see him wielding a lightsaber. You don't really know where he's coming from. You immediately know Kylo Ren has a lightsaber from the trailer, everything, like he's the bad guy. You don't really know where Finn lies yet because you see him dressed as a stormtrooper, but then you see him in regular clothes as well. And you don't know what his arc is going to be. You know what I mean? So to find out, where that's going, I'm really intrigued to kind of see where that comes from. And it seems like it's something new. So he doesn't look like he's a super confident guy with wielding this lightsaber. It could be something new for him, so he's not as confident or whatever. Because I know you and I had talked about it kind of off camera.
Yeah, we're going back and forth with it. I think with text message, right?
Yeah. We do that a lot. We're like, you see that? Yeah, but I don't like it. Well, I don't mind,
What did you think, Ryan?
It was funny just to pick up right with the lightsaber part. You could tell, I think, by the look on his face, it looked like it was out of desperation. Maybe some Jedi got killed and he had to pick up the lightsaber to defend himself.
Yeah.
It didn't look like he was clearly not comfortable with it.
Right.
Yeah. Although he did have a nice little Qui-Gon motion up towards the head. It
was a little lower, maybe down.
Overall, though, that Instagram segment didn't really do a whole lot for me. I mean, obviously, I think we're all unanimously excited about this movie as much as humans can be excited for a movie.
Right.
But that, and also, why the Instagram release? Was it just to be different, or
probably? I mean, just 15-second release. Why not?
So I don't think it's not something that they're gonna.
We need more subscribers to our Instagram account on Star Wars.
Yeah,
Disney.
But listen, I mean, it didn't hurt my excitement for the movie. It just didn't do anything else for it.
I'm kind of on the same. I think teasers like this are useless. I think they are the worst thing that you could ever do for a movie.
Seems like they're overthinking.
But at the same time, even though I hate teasers like this, I think that it gave me a lot of information that I've already seen.
Yeah.
A couple different looks. You got to see, Finn carrying a lightsaber,
but
you knew that was going to happen anyway because you saw it on the poster.
Right.
It's not something that's new to me, and it gave me no information. It just wasted 15 seconds of my life. That's not a lot of time, so it's okay, whatever. The biggest thing is that I think that because this was released, I think we are getting a new trailer released within a week. I think from today, you're going to get sometime over the next 7 days, maybe 10.
Yeah.
We're going to get a new trailer released. I think it's going to be the last big trailer before the movie comes out in December, which we're getting close.
Yeah.
We're a few months out. So we're getting close. So I think that we're going to be getting it within the next week. And their first trailer, the first teaser trailer, the long tease or whatever they gave us was pretty good. The real main trailer that they gave us a while ago, was it 6 months ago or so?
Chewie, we're home.
That was one of the best trailers I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It was a perfect trailer. Didn't give away any of the plot. Didn't give away anything that was important. It just gave you a lot of cool shit to look at.
A lot of good
and got you excited for the movie.
I went to and saw Ant-Man last weekend. I hadn't seen the trailer in a theater before. I watched it a million times on my phone. I watched it a million times on my computer. I teared up.
Yo, really?
Yeah, because like it was just the sound, like the enormity of it, seeing on the big screen. Like I see it on this little dinky phone and like my laptop screen and like headphones in or whatever, you know what I mean? But like seeing it so big, like in the grand scale that like it was, like I just got really, really moved.
Emotional. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like so excited.
When I got to see it in IMAX the first time, I was like, holy crap! This is going to be so amazing. Yeah. And you know, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. I've become a bigger Star Wars fan as I've gotten older. Kind of introducing it to my son, everything like that.
The guy with like the
Obi-Wan
Kenobi t-shirt.
Like I said, as I've gotten older,
that's a second Star Wars shirt of the day.
As I've gotten older,
before that, just so you know,
it's getting hot. You know, I got pit stains and stuff, so it's hot up
here. The idea was not to show that.
Yeah, I thought we were not drawing attention to that.
It's the beauty of editing.
Did you sign the contract?
Yeah, the beauty of editing. So I'm really looking forward to it. And as I've gotten older, I've gotten more into the Star Wars universe than I ever was as a kid. But holy crap, man, this movie is going to do buco dollars. I mean, so much money.
My thing with when this came out is I didn't think you wouldn't dislike it as much as you did, knowing how you feel about trailers coming out. Yeah. You think that there's too many trailers coming out for a lot of movies showing way too much, things like that. I'm like, well, you would probably like it. It's just a little tidbit, you know, it's a little thing. It didn't give you anything new, but it was just a different tweak of something. I thought you'd actually like it.
But it didn't get me excited for the movie, and that's what I look for in a trailer. I look for it's a marketing tactic.
But it wasn't to me it wasn't a trailer. Right. It was just a little corner.
I got more excited looking at that cover of that photo than seeing this little teaser thingy that they gave us.
By the way, I'm standing by on record. I still think this is gonna pass Avatar. I think it's passing Avatar.
Think so?
I do.
I was reading something recently. I wish I could think of the actual number off the top of my head, but I was reading something very recently that they said that worldwide opening weekend, this was going to do something ridiculous like $800 million worldwide opening weekend. Like that is ridiculous.
It is.
Like almost $1 billion in its opening weekend.
My only thing is with a lot of things like that, and I know you guys kind of touched on it before, but not with me being here, is like the span of fandom with this and how they've been able to keep the franchise alive.
Yeah,
for so
and
long.
even with those three prequels that didn't do well.
Well, even that, not just movies, but the cartoons.
Now they're doing comic books, and everything. So
everything. So like the landscape is so huge and
it's
for so long.
It's such a cool premise.
Yeah.
Very basic, good versus evil. Yep. But the lightsabers and the powers, the mystical powers
Space,
of
all that
the
stuff.
Force and everything is so cool. All right. Now we're going to move on to the next segment.
Cinemaniacs! It's time for Random Rants and Rave Reviews.
All right. And this is where we talk about or rant about any random thing that's happened. It slightly happened in the movie realm. Just something that we saw lately or, something that we've been kind of stewing about for a while. Whatever you want to talk about, open format. About 15 minutes. First thing I want to talk about is I want to plug this guy's movie channel. Okay. I recently have stumbled across this guy's movie channel. It's called Film Vibe on YouTube. Definitely check it out if you haven't already because he does a couple of different things that I don't see anywhere else. Like a lot of different movie places that I've gone on YouTube, I haven't seen stuff like this. Like he does your favorite scene in a movie, like in his mind, what the
his
favorite scene is. And he likes to kind of hear what your favorite scene was. And also he does things like these in-depth reviews. And he is a director by trade. Like he does that. He also teaches actors and stuff like that. His name is Nuno, I believe. And he does a really good job at the technical aspect of it. He really breaks it down verbally very well.
Right.
Yep. And I really enjoyed his channel, like watching it. And those definitely those scenes. They're not necessarily my favorite scenes, but I appreciate the way that he is telling us about why it's his favorite scene. So if you haven't already, I mean, I had you guys watch. What did you guys think?
Yeah.
What did you guys think? Man,
the
guy knows what he's talking about.
Way cool, like how they're just the description of how they got the ripples in the water cup for Jurassic
the guitar,
Park. The guitar like under the car.
I didn't know that.
That was way cool.
Yeah.
And the segment was just very well put together too, well edited. I like that he had the Jurassic Park music playing in the background. He kind of almost got you to think hit like his way, like, oh, maybe this
That
really
is my favorite scene.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was saying that. Yeah.
But,
It's not mine. I know what my favorite scene is, but
No, it wouldn't, you know what? It wouldn't have been mine either. But it was still really good, very well done.
yeah.
I look forward to watching some more of his.
Yeah, I want to go.
He doesn't
like,
have a lot.
Yeah.
He does this kind of on a, I would say on a part-time basis because, like I said, he is a director. He
Right.
has directed, I think, like 26 episodes of like a TV show.
Yeah.
And he's doing some stuff like that. But he does a really good job breaking down. And we might even we might cross paths a little bit, and we might actually end up Skyping him in at some point in time on our show, getting him in on that, and we might, have a little crossover here and there every once in a while.
Yeah.
I've been kind of connecting back and forth with him on YouTube, and we might do something soon. So
Yeah.
I really like
do it.
I like what he's doing there. So I especially I watched first thing that I watched with him is the Interstellar in-depth review,
Okay.
and how he broke it down and why it was so good, and then there was parts
Yeah.
that kind of got messy, and I totally agreed with his. So that was like the first thing I watched, and I was like, we were like in sync, like
Yeah.
thinking in the same exact way. And yeah, I loved it. I loved that little.
Yeah, I'm
little
definitely
bit about it.
I'm
so.
definitely gonna subscribe to his channel too, because like I did subscribe to this one because I'm a fan and I'm on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love like the technical stuff that he brought to the movie that I had no idea that it even existed. And then when you go back, he'll like explain something to you, and you're like, oh wow, I didn't even think of that.
Right.
Like the voice or the sound that the T-Rex makes
Yeah.
is a combination of elephant and
like a
dog.
dog, right?
yeah.
And then like
That's
he goes
crazy.
back and he plays like that thing, that shriek that's just in our head, like it, like it's such a classic movie,
Yeah.
classic line, and you go, wow, I can really hear that now. Like, holy crap, like that's really a cool piece of insight
Yeah.
that like the civilian movie fan or casual movie watcher or
Right.
even like avid movie guys
Right.
Yeah.
had no idea. I had no idea the truck was suspended by a guitar string on either side. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
But like all that stuff is just it's great.
Yeah, that was really like a little cool ripple. Steven
Yeah.
Spielberg wanted to have
Yep.
the circular
Circular, yeah.
round,
Yep,
and
yep.
yeah, it's good. It's good information. So I definitely say, head over there and subscribe.
Yeah.
Check out his videos.
The Dark
comment,
Knight,
and
the
all that
Dark
stuff.
Knight favorite scene one I thought was really good.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
has a lot of good
Though,
information.
I think that one is.
He has that technical aspect
Yeah.
in his
Yeah.
brain that
Yeah.
we just don't have because we're not directors. We
Yes.
don't do that kind of stuff.
Very
So
cool insight.
He
Yeah.
knows. So I think it was good. I was really good, and it was definitely something that I would like to have. Like we're gonna try and cross paths a little bit. So hopefully it'll work out. I know that
Across
he's
the
gonna.
streams.
Yeah, oh Jesus.
Giggly.
Giggity, giggity.
All right. So, is there anything else that you want to rant, rave, review? What do you want to talk about?
I'm gonna bring this down a little bit in a sad way
Oh, yeah.
because of the passing of Wes Craven
Yes.
yesterday, which was horrible. But I gotta tell you, as soon as I heard, as soon as I saw like the update come across my phone, my heart sank because I
Right.
was like, wow, that guy was. He's the master of the teen slasher films,
Right.
especially a lot of the. And the thing that makes Wes Craven so unique is that, and even though I love, like John Carpenter's Halloween and stuff like that, those were much more serious. Those were teen slasher films that were serious, but Wes Craven brought the element of comedy
Right.
into his movies. Freddy is
Freddy is-
essentially more of a comedy character, than a...
I touched on A Nightmare on
Yeah.
Elm Street
Yeah.
on Facebook when I made my post when I found out about it last night. I had said that I had a reoccurring nightmare about that movie and it wasn't necessarily in that movie. It was just about Freddy the character.
Freddy got you.
Freddy kind of got me, and the thing that's funny is that I had this reoccurring nightmare for probably about 3 years, and it would just pop up every once in a while, same exact way, But then one time I actually defeated Freddy, and as soon as that happened, I was no longer scared of it. And it was with a number 2 pencil. It was very, very, very much like that Savings Private Ryan scene.
Yeah.
Like you can tell I'm in school and I had a number 2 pencil. But I was in high school. I was like at the very beginning of high school, and I had a number 2 pencil, and it was very like slowly going into his. And like that's what I had in my mind. And then when that happened, I was no longer afraid. I still had the dream.
Yeah.
But I knew how it was going to end.
That's how you kill Freddy, huh?
Yeah, with a number 2 pencil. Yeah.
It's like aliens get killed with water in science. Turns out it's just not that hard to do.
Or the common cold.
The common cold. You give them a virus. But actually, the funny part is, and And as much as and I hope this isn't like sacrilege, but as much as I love Freddy and Nightmare on Elm Street, the bigger Wes Craven film for me is Scream.
Screams, yeah.
And
that was like what brought the horror film back.
I would say Scream, no joke, is probably my second favorite horror film, and that's behind only the original Halloween.
Wow.
And because yes, and for what you just said right there, it brought it back.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably saw Scream in the theater at least 3 times. I can still probably quote 90% of it. It was such a great movie. It had that awesome whodunit factor.
Yeah. And that was great. The
that was
intellectual
the best part
side
about
of it,
it.
like
That
thinking
was-
about who did it.
Yeah.
That was and that was the other part too, was that so many of the classic horror movies were not whodunits. They were well, we know who Jason is, and we know who Freddy is, and we know Michael Myers escaped a mental institute, but you had to think too. I mean, there was elements of comedy, there were elements of drama, there were elements of obviously action and horror. Wes Craven was the
brilliant.
master,
He was
and
brilliant.
The world.
And A Nightmare on Elm Street is still, it probably is my favorite horror film of all time.
Yeah.
Just because
I know it's
it
my
was like
wife's.
one of the first that I watched, and it just left such an impact on me, even though I had that recurring nightmare and everything. Like, it's just so implanted in my brain. Yeah. And when I go back and revisit it, it still holds up.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. To think that somebody can come through your dreams and actually kill you, that's terrifying.
I mean, it's my wife and I.
Oh, by the way, the opening scene in Scream with Drew Barrymore.
It's the best. Yeah. That is the best.
Yeah, it's so great.
I mean, the phone call with the voice. The voice is classic.
Yes, it
I
is.
mean, but it's funny because my wife and I have the conversation a lot too about, because even though we are both horror junkies, we feel differently about how we like our killers to be.
Mm-hmm.
I like the silent, deadly Michael Myers. Doesn't say anything, just stalks you and creeps the shit out of you.
Uh-huh.
She likes for her murderer to make you laugh before you die. And but I respect it, and there's no doubt, I mean, where Freddy ranks in the horror genre as far as the mass murdering killer is top 3.
Yeah. I was so mad when it was Freddy versus Jason and Freddy didn't win. And it wasn't really that Jason won.
I don't know. One of them won.
I know, and that's the thing that made me mad. I was like, Freddy is so much better. Freddy should have won. He is by far the best. And I liked at the end how you saw Freddy's eyes. He's like, like I kind of laughing, like it's he didn't die. And
that was like a no-win situation, really, for the producers of that movie.
Would have been for me.
But
it's the easy way to win it for me.
Yeah,
what about you? What do you think about anything about Wes Craven?
It's just that he's been able to almost kind of sustain the genre for two time periods. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like you have that 80s, 90s, genre of time, and then there was things got really campy and really hokey and everything else, and it just kind of faded. Mm-hmm. And then like with Scream, it brought everything back. He was still scary, and like I love John Carpenter's vampires. Yeah. Was it
James Woods?
James Woods. Mm-hmm. And I love horror movies for different reasons. I know you don't like I don't like any of the new stuff, the jump scares, like all that stuff. I'm not a big fan. But this stuff, the stuff that that Wes Craven did was good. Like it was quality too. Yeah. It wasn't just like simple, quick moving paranormal activity bull crap or that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? It was actually quality stuff. So it's definitely it's definitely a sad day for like
really
for film and stuff.
I mean, he was what, 72? Yeah. So I mean, he was
76,
it's not like
76.
Yeah. He's not. It's not like he's
it wasn't like 40.
But still, he could still put out another really good horror flick. I mean, and I would love to see it.
And
people line up.
Just had like it's gotten a series on MTV.
My wife
you know what I mean? So like,
I enjoy it. It's not great, but it's okay. Yeah. We're still enjoying it.
It's keeping that franchise alive.
It's keeping the franchise alive. We keep watching it every week because we're going back and forth on who we think the killer or killers are. So.
Yeah. All right. What, do you have anything you want to randomly rant about?
I don't know.
Rave review?
You watched Bruce Leroy in The Last Dragon the other night.
I did.
He's coming to the Hartford Comic-Con that's coming in a couple weeks.
And I will say something about this spoof of a movie. Like, I hadn't seen this.
Don't call it a spoof.
It's a spoof.
Then you just discredit it.
It's spoofed.
It's not.
It's a spoof. I would say the thing that I didn't like about this movie, and I have seen it before, but it was the last time I saw it was
Which
in
movie
like
is this again?
The Last Dragon. With it's
Bruce Leroy, Shonuff.
Shonuff.
Oh, okay.
Who's the master of Harlem? Or
Okay, all right.
So
The Glow.
I would say that it set me up at the very beginning. Like I haven't seen it like probably 20 years. So the last time I saw it was probably in the 90s when I was watching all those Van Damme movies and Bruce Lee movies and Chuck Norris and Steven Seagal, all these kind of movies. I watched that movie because it was kind of a little more jokey and hokey, and so I watched it. And I honestly don't really remember anything about it except for the Shonuff part. That was all I really remembered. Watched it again. It set me up. Started off with DeBarge and the Rhythm of the Night, and I was like, all right, I like that song. Get into this. Yeah, let's do this. And then they have one of the worst songs of all time in movie history, and that's the Seventh Heaven just song that they have. I was like, holy crap, this is the one. And then so we don't get any more of those good classic pop songs throughout the rest of the movie, and that
was the big one. That was like the Rhythm of the Night was like the big one.
And that was a big one by DeBarge. Yeah. But I was watching it. I was slightly entertained. There were some parts that I could definitely pick at and make fun of, and if I was with like some friends and stuff like that. But all it made me want to do was watch the movie Kung Pao, which is a real good spoof karate movie. I love that movie so much. Have you ever seen it?
No, but now I just want Kung Pao chicken.
It's so hilariously spoofy.
Yeah, that's a deliberate spoof, like a Hot Shots or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, The Last Dragon it's a time period movie. Like it's an 80s movie. It came out in 85.
Bruce Leroy.
His name's Leroy Green, but they call him Bruce Leroy because he's like that. It's just they're picking on him.
Like Willie Mays Hayes?
Yeah. Lord.
It was just so good. Like it's so
it's good, so but it's
a good bad movie.
Yeah, it's one of those. I mean, it's not. None of the actors really did much for themselves after that movie, and they didn't really do much before, and it was all right. I don't know. It's one of those that I know Brad Neff, who I now call Shonuff.
The Brad.
Yeah, we were talking about it on Facebook.
So I really he was like mad that I hadn't seen it in such a long time. So I revisited it, I watched it, and I'd probably give it like a 5.5 out of 10 or something like that. It was. I could sit through it. If I was with a bunch of people, I'd probably enjoy it a little bit more. But
it's so good to point out because it's one of those movies that's like it's never Oscar worthy. It's not
I think it won a couple Razzies.
Yeah, probably. I believe that. God. But like, there's music in it that's real bad, and like they have like a character in there that's like trying to be. I don't know, she almost kind of looks like Cyndi Lauper-ish, like a little bit. Like the gosh, guy, the arcade guy's trying to make the girls
Arcadian.
Yeah, and like. I don't know. The Shonuff character is just perfect. Like he's got "Kiss My Converse." There's so many good There's so many good lines in that movie that like it's just so.
There
good.
are some pretty good lines. I will say that.
It's a cult classic movie.
Yes.
And then like it's good. So I'm glad you revisited it.
I revisited it. I enjoyed it. I watched the whole thing. I didn't like bust out laughing at all throughout the movie, but I did, smile several times and enjoyed the whole thing. So
breakdancing parts in the club and stuff like that. It's just so good. Will you teach me some moves? Like right at the end. Oh man, it's so good.
My favorite part was the Asian guy who kept on referring to himself as an Oriental. And how he was saying
Johnny, right? The guy that like fake fights.
Yeah, he's like, all I have to do is make some noises and do a couple of moves, and nobody will fight me because everybody's scary Orientals. And I'm like, oh my god,
was it 85? You're not to be politically correct back then.
Yeah, so funny. That was pretty funny. I thought that was pretty funny. That guy cracked me up.
The dim sum guys, the guys that wanted to be like jive and they wanted to be black really bad.
Oh my gosh.
And they're like, yeah, you want to play dice? And they ended up being like, he had no idea what it is. He's like, oh, we're gonna teach him hopscotch.
This is how we play on the other side of town or whatever. Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh brother. So good. So good. You haven't seen it. You have to watch it.
No,
maybe I'll send it to you or
I'll
let you borrow it. No. But that's not.
Stop talking about Chinese food. You're provoking my envy.
He fights a cow.
Now I want General Tso's chicken.
He
with
fights
like
a cow.
nunchucks of like squirrels or ferrets.
It might
or
be
like
beavers.
That. Stupid.
Chad, make sure you don't pet the beaver. If you get an opportunity to pet a beaver, that's not an actual beaver. You should pet it. Chad! Okay, sorry.
Quit petting your beaver.
Yeah.
Nice, beaver.
So, is there anything else anybody wants to talk about, or do you have any of those "forgive me for saying"? I heard this thing on one of the sports talk radio shows that I was listening to, and they were doing this "forgive me for saying," and it was kind of a thing of them to shit on popular things on like just in general, like popular opinions of things. Like for me to say something like "I don't," but me say, forgive me for saying, but Blade Runner is a piece of shit movie.
All right, so it's like purposely playing devil's advocate.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, it could go down so many bad roads.
I know.
But forgive me for saying, Johnny Depp is a douche for visiting a children's hospital.
No. It actually has to be
wrong.
something. It has to be something that you actually believe in, though.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So, but it's against the popular opinion.
Yeah. Oh, against popular opinion?
Against popular opinion.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Say anything in support of Donald Trump.
Yeah, so I mean, is there anything at all that you can think of that would be against your popular opinion? Like, for me, I would have to say, forgive me for saying, but I think Ultron was a terrible, terrible villain, and that second movie was awful. I now hate that movie. I dislike the Avengers Age of Ultron. I think it was a terrible version of a comic book movie.
Wow.
Yes. The more I watch it, the more I think about it, the more I hate it. So forgive me for saying, but that movie stunk.
I could do the opposite of that. Forgive me for saying, but I actually like the Ninja Turtles reboot.
Did you?
Yep.
Wow. Really?
It doesn't touch the classic original. It's not, but it is in its own sense. Mm-hmm. And everyone bad-mouthing it. Megan Fox can't act her way out of a paper bag. That's fine. But, like, the turtles in like, I know they're CG'd and everything else, but, like, I dug it. Like, I like it. I bought it. Like, I own it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Wow.
My daughter,
Guilty,
my daughter,
kids.
my daughter and I watch it. She likes it. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, forgive me for saying, but I like it.
Yeah,
I can't wait for the next one.
Forgive me for saying, but I enjoyed the Pixels movie.
Yeah, both of you guys need to you need to apologize for that too. Brian, you need to apologize for liking Pixels.
I did like it.
You did, yeah.
You have to take that movie for what it was. Forgive me for saying, but I enjoyed Pixels also.
Forgive me for saying, but I enjoyed Grown Ups too.
Forgive me for saying I like the Mark Wahlberg Transformers movie.
Oh my gosh. You're having a hard time with it. Forgive me for saying.
I know.
It's like you're a pop culture whore or something.
I don't know.
Oh, forgive me for saying. One of my favorite Marvel movies is The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton.
You are not forgiven.
I love that. It's probably my second favorite.
Really?
Yeah. Avengers and then that one.
Wow.
In the Marvel?
MCU universe, not MCU. So like you're talking like not the Spider-Man movies and stuff like that, but just not X-Men.
I hate that distinction. Yeah. Forgive me for saying I fucking hate that distinction. As you know.
Forgive me for saying I love it.
Forgive me for saying I agree to disagree with you. Now I'm getting the hang of it.
That's
so
yes. In of all the Marvel movies that are in the Marvel Cinematic
the MCU,
universe,
like you have. I like it more
Avengers,
than Iron
the first one.
I like it.
You like it better than the first Iron Man movie?
Yes, yeah.
Wow.
Because I think the villain in that movie was one of the. It might be the best that any of them have had so far. It actually seemed like a formidable foe that was actually evil, and even
General Roth.
You have Roth, Tim Roth. Is that who?
Yeah, Tim Roth is
who turned into an abomination.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you have the general.
Yeah.
I can't remember his Thunderbolt Ross.
Ross.
It's like Thunderbolt Ross or something. I can't remember what his first name is.
Who played him?
Thaddeus Ross, right? Is that what his name is?
Forgive me for saying John Cusack was a fucking idiot for making that movie. By the way, so I just showed Shane this picture of the Dragon Blade cover, which apparently was a movie that came out in February.
Yeah.
Although I just started seeing...
What is that?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, the trailer.
Has there ever been an actor more misplaced in a movie than
John
Cusack as a samurai warrior?
Him too.
Fighting Adrian Brody.
It looks like he walked off the set of that Beach Boys and then walked into this role. Like it is, the trailers for it are so cringeworthy bad. And Jackie Chan's in it.
Yeah.
And Adrian Brody.
Why?
If you went online and looked up the definition of putting a square peg into a round hole, you would get that picture of John Cusack in a samurai warrior outfit. And hold on.
Oh,
and I love John Cusack. I love John
Forgive me
Cusack.
for saying?
No, not forgive me for saying. I fucking love John Cusack.
I like him some of
Gross
the time.
Point Blank
I'm with that. I'm
is
sometime.
and that's weird because he played an assassin in
Gross Point Blank.
Yeah, and,
I love that movie.
But he was worked
good.
that worked.
Him
for
and Dan Aykroyd?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Dan Aykroyd was great. Popcorn. I loved that movie, and that was probably my favorite Cusack movie. And that's also saying something.
Was that Minnie Driver too?
Yes, that was Minnie Driver. Cusack. Forgive me for saying. I'm going to list some of my favorite John Cusack movies right now. 1, Grosse Pointe Blank. 2, and this is a tough call.
Say anything?
It's either between One Crazy Summer or Better Off Dead.
What about Being John Malkovich?
Which is hard.
Forgive me
I like that it's weird.
Forgive me for saying I haven't seen Blade Runner.
I haven't seen 2012.
I haven't seen.
Wow, you haven't seen Blade Runner?
No.
Yeah, there's no forgiveness.
Well,
there.
I was gonna get ready to watch it,
You're
and
condemned.
then since for somebody that is a fan, what should
Harrison Ford.
a Blade Runner, just a Blade Runner?
Okay. Can we?
Which one should I watch?
Yeah.
The commentary or not commentary?
No.
There's 2 versions.
Yeah, no commentary.
No, the second release has like the commentary, and I heard
Don't
that.
know. You just watch it.
I heard it makes the movie makes more sense.
No, but
watch it first without.
Watch it twice. Watch
Yeah.
it first with or without, and then with.
Yeah, watch it first.
You got to be immersed in
Then
the
you can-
experience first, and then you can do it. Like, who watches movies with the commentary
Yeah,
first?
you can't do that. That's
Well, that's
way
how
too
it got
much
me-
of a
that's
Trying
how-
to take you out of the.
Forgive me for saying that was a stupid question. Shane!
You're making a bad decision.
Forgive me for saying, but I liked Russell Crowe's and Ridley Scott's Robin Hood movie.
Oh yeah, that is definitely a forgive me for saying.
I like that movie.
Bad.
What? Which one?
The Robin Hood movie.
The
with
Robin
Ridley
Hood
Scott
one they did.
and Russell Crowe.
Yeah, you're not forgiven.
You need to wrap up this segment.
Yes, we need to wrap this up. So, where can people find you on the interweb, Brian? Brian, where can people find you
on the internet?
Shane! They can find me on Twitter at
This is a long one.
Yeah, it's too much. At the Bry Man, _Bry_man.
Yes.
By the way, since I have started
Yeah.
this show and plugged my Twitter, 0 additional new followers.
Shane!
I'm on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things too.
Yeah. What do you got? What is it? Is it BKC
I
something
think
or other?
Yeah, I think the Instagram one is BKC8377, and then, I realized, I believe that my Facebook, like if you do like Facebook.com/ no joke, Hollywood Brian, I believe it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Woo! That's
Hollywood Hogan.
But yes,
Right?
well that's why I did it
Yeah.
because that was in the Hollywood Hogan phase. So yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Awkward right now.
So what about you? Where can people find you on the interwebs?
On the interwebs.
Blaine!
I'm gonna use.
We almost did it at the same time.
I'm gonna use your last name.
It's kind of cool though in a way, right? People start using your last name.
You'll be credited for that.
Except when they use mine. Like I got an email. I got like a work email.
Christina!
I got a work email last week, and he's like, the guy started off the email by saying, "Christina, you're gonna kill me," but it's like, oh man, that's so weak, man.
You can find me all at DJ Darth Fader with an F. Yep.
DJ Darth Fader.
Fader. I have also probably not received followers from the show.
0!
Although I plugged it pretty well and
Shane!
helped it bump up.
Stop looking at the camera directly.
Yeah.
You're breaking down the fourth wall.
I knew he'd be with me.
We've been doing it all day.
Wait till you see some of the
Yes,
you were
yes,
not
they
around
have.
for.
During the break, you disappeared. We went off.
It was.
Yeah, so Batdad.
I could hear
Batdad
you.
should probably
I could
pay
hear
us.
you on the first floor.
This was a shameless plug for Batdad on the show.
Yeah.
And I apologize for bringing that element. That's totally my fault.
Yeah, I just kind of ran with it.
You've been only doing it for like 3 days.
3. It feels like longer.
I was getting audio texts.
I did. I sent him audio text.
Start doing lines, be like, Shane, I can't wait till
doing
Monday.
squats.
Shane!
Drink your protein shake.
We did
and
a-
get swole.
Get swole. Take protein shakes. Do squats.
We did a lot about Chad because he wasn't here. So
There were a lot of Chad and
riffed
Maine
on him being in
references.
Maine. We started looking up things about Maine to like Batdad.
We referenced Maine as like
Yeah.
a person.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, you can find me over
On that
everything the CineBros. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, Snapchat, the CineBros. The Facebook page, which is the CineBros, facebook.com/the CineBros. I don't have like a lower third this time, which kind of sucks, but I have the Facebook.com/the CineBros, YouTube channel, which is big now that we can have an actual name, which is the Movie House Maniacs. It's youtube.com/the Movie House Maniacs. Please go over and subscribe. You can see like I think it'll be like over here.
Shane.
Right there.
Where's
It'll be
the
it'll be like right there.
subscribe button?
Right? It'll be right there. It's a little logo of us, like not of us, but the CineBros CineTalk thing. It's a little logo down
Not
there.
so much
You
here
click
or
it.
here.
But
Right here. Yeah, right here. Like right here. There's the logo.
Here.
Hit it.
I used to grab bear claws, do it at that. Sorry.
Shane.
Right here in this region.
Oh man, I miss him. Chris Farley. All
When
right,
was
so
this documentary coming out? That
it already came
I already
out.
watched
Oh,
it.
it
I
Yeah.
watched it. Yeah, it was great.
Oh, was it
Yeah.
bad?
I haven't-
Was it sad? Like,
DVR.
No, it wasn't sad.
No.
It was.
is it on TV?
They did it justice, and,
Yeah.
and they didn't make it too sad. They did have some sad moments.
There
but
were
it was-
dark parts, but it didn't make it too dark.
Right.
Like it
Is it on
wasn't.
DVD?
No, it was. I watched it on Spike.
Yeah, I DVR'd
They
it.
came out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it just?
Middle of the month.
Yeah.
Or beginning
Did
of
it
the
go in
month.
theaters or no?
Yeah. For like a week or two.
God, I would have gone to that.
Not.
Oh,
It didn't have a wide release.
Yeah.
It was like sporadically, like
It's really snuck under
a couple
the radar.
hundred theaters here and there.
Last thing I want to say again. Rest in peace.
Yes.
Wes Craven.
Rest in peace.
Thank you for Freddy and for Scream and for everything.
Wes. You're amazing.
Rest.
We will miss you.
That was almost like an Undertaker.
It was. You did. You went Undertaker's there.
I can't roll my.
We'll
eyes.
miss him.
I can't either.
I can make it wiggle like that.
I could just.
Like
I could.
that,
I
like
could.
that.
Yeah. I can. Like that.
We went to wrestling.
Freaks him out a little while.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
We were talking
yeah.
some wrestling.
Yeah. Wrestling's cool.
Forgive me.
Forgive me for saying
Dick.
that was a dick move right
That was a dick
there.
move.
I used to like wrestling. I haven't
fun of
watched
the
it in like
Undertaker.
I don't really do.
I didn't make
it
fun of the
anymore.
Undertaker.
Make fun of John Cena if you want. That's an easy target.
He was hilarious in Trainwreck.
Oh my God, he was.
He was hilarious.
He was.
He was amazing.
Him and LeBron.
Yes.
We're both great.
Yes. Great cameos.
Yeah.
Stole it.
See how big
Oh.
Amy Schumer star is now? Like with
Yeah.
all that, like she got the right PR people or whatever. She's
She's actually hooked up with Jennifer Lawrence now.
yeah.
They've been emailing back and forth. Jennifer Lawrence contacted Amy Schumer because she's like a huge fan of her.
Yeah.
Loved the movie, and they're writing a script together, and they're going to be like sisters in the movie.
Her star is huge. She got the right whatever PR firm she switched to or whatever. Like she was like an ancillary nobody
Right.
like 6
Yeah.
months ago, maybe, and now she's like ginormous.
She
They're
is.
talking about like they do on Pandora. They're doing they're doing like that funny like there's some comedy tour like
Yeah.
the Oddball Comedy Festival or whatever's
Okay.
coming around, and like there's like super special guests like Amy Schumer, like Aziz Ansari is like headlining the thing and he's funny, and they're like like they're giving her all these like crazy accolades,
Yeah.
and like TJ Miller's in it too, and like
wow.
he's like way down the list, and like they're like Amy Schumer, blah blah. I'm like holy shit, like her star is
that's-
blown
that
up
movie
right now.
What's so great about her is that she's cute but not hot. Seems approachable. She's not
She has
like
no fucking filter whatsoever.
no right.
I like that though, yeah.
No, she's in like the Melissa McCarthy kind
Yeah.
of.
But well, that's the thing that's kind of cool about her and Jennifer Lawrence, because if you like, I've seen interviews with Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
She doesn't really have much of a filter either.
Yeah.
So I think that they could
But
mesh
her,
well
but
together.
on screen though, most of the characters that she's played have been very.
She's a very good actress. That's
Yeah.
why. I mean, I wouldn't say Amy Schumer's a great actress. She got to play herself.
We all know how I feel.
Yes, you
About
Love
don't
J-Lo.
know. She doesn't have that shit.
Silver Linings Playbook didn't.
I,
for you?
Shane said it best. I do not believe Jennifer Lawrence has an it factor. I just don't. I don't. Objectively, I believe she is a great actress. I can't deny that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. She didn't do a lot for me.
What about that $25 million paycheck per movie that she's making now?
It factor. You can make a lot of money and not have an it factor.
Yeah.
I just don't think she does.
I didn't like her.
Say she's not great.
Forgive me for saying, but I don't like her in the X-Men.
Oh yeah, I don't either. I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
Never grew on me. Forgive me for saying, but Rebecca Romaine is the Mystique.
Yes, I agree with that. You know what I think the problem for Jennifer Lawrence is, for me anyway, is that a lot of her contemporaries, if you think of women like Emma Watson, are just so, like, I'm sorry, but if you ask me, Emma Watson is just like in a league of her own.
She's really talented.
Beyond Jennifer Lawrence. And that's not fair because Jennifer Lawrence probably is more bank.
Yeah.
In terms of, but
Emma Watson is a very talented actress,
but
and
those
I loved
those
her
are her
in Noah.
Though.
In the movie Noah, like she was one of the redeeming qualities.
Crowe, right?
Yeah.
Just to continue to
was great too.
on Jennifer Lawrence a little bit, if you were to line up Jennifer Lawrence and her, what you would consider to be her peers in her age group, her contemporaries.
Did you know she was in the Engvall show that was on TV for a little while?
Well,
She was the daughter, the Bill
I
Engvall
would
show.
prepare this as my
Jennifer
next
Lawrence
random
really?
rave review.
Yeah.
This is going to be my next random rant.
What?
I'm going to make a list of Jennifer Lawrence and her contemporaries, and then I'm going to objectively rank her in that list. Here's a spoiler alert. She's below Emma Watson.
Age group? Like, is there going to be an age
'cause I was
factor?
gonna say,
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put her in Meryl
Like
Streep's
the
category.
21 to
Yeah.
32
Yes,
range?
yes.
So like Anne Hathaway.
So good
is in
news
that
is you'll be
group,
above
like,
Kristen Stewart, but below Emma Watson. There you go.
Yeah, I think.
Keep breaking down the fourth wall.
And where does
Camera one.
what's her face?
Only camera one today.
Anna Kendrick.
Hathaway?
No, we can just bag on Anna Kendrick because she's not here.
For Chad?
Yeah. And it's like Anna Kendrick, Kristen Stewart.
Oh.
Jennifer Lawrence. Okay, come at me, bro.
Oh, man. He'll come through the
I will do that.
We didn't talk about that the last time when we were talking about when that movie she's coming out, American Ultra. You talked about that, the trailer and stuff last.
All right, sorry for the bad quality, but our computer froze up on us there, so we're going to end like this. And we would like to sign off.
Amateur hour.
So thank you very much for watching the show, and remember to please subscribe to the YouTube channel. And
don't forget to look at our rotating posts, right?
the rotating posts on Facebook.
Yes, on Facebook.
Every day we come up with something for you guys to interact with us.
Yes.
Like, what was the last one that you just did?
What, favorite athlete cameo in a movie? Right?
Ah,
Was that it?
yeah. Was that? Yeah.
Because I chose Mike Tyson in The Hangover.
Mike Tyson in The Hangover. Yeah. What did I pick? I don't even remember what I picked.
I don't think you did.
I did. I picked one.
Did you comment?
Yeah, I did comment.
Cameo?
I commented in the comment
Just a
section
cameo?
below.
No, it wasn't necessarily a cameo. It could have been an appearance. I think I said cameo
Space Jam,
/
Michael Jordan?
appearance.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably Space Jam. Yeah.
There's a lot. There's a lot of good movies out there with good cameos. Yeah, that was a good one. Good one. All right, so we will sign off. So see you later, guys. Bye. Bye.
Time. Jade, everyone, turn off the iPhone. I need some general sense.
If you watch the show on YouTube, please click that thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. If you watched on iTunes, please rate and review us. And thank you for watching.